Fort William, Coach F. Thanks. So in case you're wondering where we are on the Caledonian Sleeper heading to Fort William for a couple of days walking in the Highlands of Scotland. So here on my sleeper I've got my backpack on the upper bunk, travelling solo this time, so I have a solo occupancy of this cabin. And there's my bed for the night. It's got dimmer controls and the lights, temperature control, though it is a little bit warm in here, I will give it that. There's your sink. This is only a basic room, so it just has the interlocking door, not the toilet and shower. Has a sink. Got a nice can of beer on the go already, a nice Northern Monk, brand new one on me, a Rocket Lolly. Strawberry, orange and pineapple. Lovely IPA that. Yeah, the goodies on the floor is Caffè Nero bag. Now, I don't know if some of you know, there's an app called Too Good To Go that you can pay for what they're going to chuck out at the end of the day or in the next morning. So I think this was £3, this one. I paid for this, and I've got a Caffè Nero Butcher's Sausage Ciabatta, or ciabatta, whatever that's pronounced. A brie and bacon panini. Oh, you're not supposed to heat that up, because I've got nowhere to heat that up here. And I think that's a croissant, so this will all do for the morning. I'm going to have the brie and bacon later tonight with another beer. And I'll have the sausage and the croissant in the morning, and bring me a coffee about 7:30. I've asked to be working about 7:30, but I'm going to set an alarm for 6:30 so I can get up around about Helensburgh. Very cramped, but it is very nice. You've got the whole cabin to yourself, and you can sit here, look out the window. I'm going to turn the lights off actually so you can see out the window a little bit more. It said leaving the outskirts. It says here that goes into a tunnel. We'll come back when it gets a little bit lighter. So our journey is today or tonight. It's going to take us 12 hours 45 minutes. Let's go all the way from Euston up towards Preston, then up to Edinburgh where the train divides, and then one portion goes to Aberdeen, one goes to Inverness, and this bit goes to Fort William via Glasgow, and then up Helensburgh, Gairloch, Cleanlarrick, Bridge of Allkey, Rye over Rannochmore, and into Fort William for 10 o'clock and in time for breakfast. What am I doing on this train? I am going to do a bit of walking. I'm going to do a tiny section of the West Highland Way on Saturday and Sunday. Just enjoy the mountains, chill out, get in the mountains, breathe some nice fresh air and get some exercise, and then come back on Monday via the East Coast. So I'm going to take a train back down to Glasgow and Edinburgh and then come down the East Coast on Monday. So I shall fill you in on some details as we go through the weekend. In the meantime, I'm going to have a beer and just enjoy the slowly setting sun. Well, it's very set now, but it's the twilight before it's time to go to sleep in a couple of hours. Highlands of Scotland. Finally got up here after a long night's drive up to Edinburgh and then across to Glasgow, the West Highlands. Very comfortable to start with, and the bed gets a bit hot. It does creak and groan a lot though, so you do need earplugs. And as you can hear now, as we're up in Highland, the wheels are squealing and the carriage is creaking. Coffee has arrived. I've got some croissants from a bargain bag from Caffè Nero, a Tyndrum, and then from Tyndrum the next day I'm going to walk to the Bridge of Orchid. A couple of bits of backwards and forwards because I've got to stay 2 nights in Tyndrum before heading back. I Edinburgh back to London the next day. So, weather's beautiful and sunny, so it's going to be a warm day, so I shall probably be sweating buckets later. Most unlike me, total change of plan at the last minute. I had planned on lying in bed and with a coffee and watching the scenery to all the way to Fort William, but I was wide awake. I'd had my coffee and thought I want to get cracking with the walk, so I bailed out and ran up more. I immediately got attacked by the midges. It seems a bit breezier down here, so I'm away from the midges at least, so immediately swapped trains onto the other side. And there was a southbound and just 45 minutes back to Crianlarich at the start of where I'm going to start my walk. And that's how you pronounce that. Crianlarich, apparently. So I hope not to fudge all the Scottish names of the places I come to. So anyway, enough waffle, let's get on with the walk. I've started the walk now. Apparently this path up here, I think it's about the steepest ascent I've got on the whole 2 days, so I think it's going to be quite brutal with this big old pack I've got on, so we'll give it a go and see if I make it. It's quite a steep climb out of Crianlarich right up to and into the forest to rejoin the West Highland Way. This is only like a little branch off it to enable people to visit Crianlarich, those that are staying overnight or want to take a grub stop. So got a little way to go till we join the West Highland Way proper. Puffing like a fat bloke. I think this is the crossroads where the path from Crianlarich comes up to join the West Highland Way proper. Bleep bleep. There's the GPS. Then we have West Highland Way, Crianlarich, toilet in the shop. Makes it sound like it's really nearby, it's not. The Drover's Loop, and then West Highland Way southbound towards Milgai where it starts, which is about 3 days walk to the south, I believe. If you can read that. Welcome to the Crianlarich crossroads. And there are those geese. Onwards and upwards. That's a crack. This, I think this last climb, it's pretty much, I think, downhill again, most of the way down to the A82, and then I think pretty much you're in a valley walk with a few undulations here and there all the way to Tyndrum. I think we scoped out to do the whole West Highland Way, but I think I need to be a few stone lighter. You're never too old though. Well, I think you are. My mum's 87. I don't think she'd make it. This is quite steep. Well, steep for me. Probably looks flat as a pancake, like a walk in the park on the camera here. But it's It's a fair old track. That is the steep climb out of Larrick, but I think I've almost made it. Oh look, a picnic table. That'll do. It's time to get the hat out. I'll have a little stop, I think. Friendly robin. Scrounging for some tidbits in my little cereal bar I've just had. Still going up. Picnic bench possibly was halfway point so you could sit down. But just thinking to myself how much easier this would be without a big pack on my back. The reason I've got a big pack is because I'm having to take a sleeping bag and sleep kit and 3 days. It's probably the same gears you'd need for the whole week if you were sort of like staying in huts and hostels. I'd like to add a tent and a stove to the mix. That really would make this pack heavy. It hasn't rained for weeks on end up here. Still the odd little boggy bit on this path, not many. The odd one or two, but the streams and rivers are just so dried up. It's really going to change tomorrow when we get absolute deluge in the thunderstorms. The river will become a raging torrent. Path's levelled out a bit now. Hoping I'm done with the ascent. I'm pretty warm. I've really done any walking for a long proper walking, not anything getting off my sofa and walking to the kitchen or to work. But not done any proper walking, I don't think, since I went to Switzerland about 3-4 years ago. Which is a pretty poor show, to be honest. But determined to keep enjoying my mountains despite the setbacks with knees and backs. And of course, the age-old problem of shoving the timber on. That's hardly timber in my case, it's more lard. Not going to stop me having a pint later though. I've just got some water from the stream and I'm going to use my soya filter to decant it into another bottle. Should make it nice and clean. I've used this in anger before, this water filter. I hear it takes all day. Not too bad. A quick taste. Oh, I can't beat the Scottish stream water. Lovely and cool. Still in the forest. It's one positive and one negative. Positive is it keeps the sun off. It's lovely and shady in here, so it's relatively cool. So it's a pretty hot weekend here in the Highlands. But the negative thing is you haven't got the great big open views. But I know they're coming, so it won't be too much longer in the forest. I've heard some people say about the Great Glen Way. It's a lot of forests, so there's not the great big wide open vistas that you get on this West Highland Way. A lot of the sections are completely out in the open, and I really do want to do one day the bit over Rannoch by from Rannoch, the edge of Rannoch to King's House over the Black Mount, I think it is, the old military road. That is pretty wild, spectacular. Just sitting down here overlooking the valley for a well-earned rest. Can't say my legs and knees aren't tired already. I don't know how these people bash out 16, 17 miles a day on this trail. I don't know what I've done, 3, 4. I'm ready for a pub. I don't think you could ask for anything better with the weather. Wow. Light cloud, nice little breeze blowing in this part of the valley, and that of course keeps the midges away. There's been some midges in the forest, but breezy here, so seems all fine at the moment. Heading back down to the valley floor now. Out the forest, just the remains of some tree felling, and then we've got to cross the A82. I think there's a tunnel, this one. I know there's several points on the West Highland Way where you die to death crossing the A82, but I'm sure this crossing is a tunnel. We'll find out when we get down there. The relative peace and quiet we've had, although the road was always audible in the background. We are right alongside the A82 right now. It really is a non-stop road, that one. Of course it is the major road into the Western Highlands, linking Glasgow, Fort William, out towards Mallaig, etc. Gone quiet for a second. Quick frame this moment. I was lying about a tunnel. This is one of the dice with death crossings. Should put a zebra crossing and make people stop. I'm going to record this, just might be beneficial at the inquest. Nice little gap. Yeah, I suppose it's a Saturday, it's not as busy as weekdays, so I take it's this way. There's the older West Highland Way sign. I could do with one of those honesty boxes right now, and these people put out these boxes and cooler boxes full of drinks and chocolate. I'm hoping I'll come across one near a farm that's got beer in it. Just we're sitting down in the shade of the beer. I think it's highly unlikely though. It's a hiker friendly kissing gate. It's got the lower bit there so you can swing around with your rucksack on. I've got a backpack these days. I'm not showing my age by calling it a rucksack. I could be really old school and call it a knapsack. West Highland Way, turn left. Sheep in the fields down there, they're new lambs, lying in the shade. The probably only known sunny weather since they were born. I don't realise that most of the time it pees with rain up here. Let's just over here, we've got a weather station. It says this is one of the wettest parts of Britain. An annual rainfall of over 2.5 metres, which is 4 times the rainfall of Edinburgh. That means there is measurable rainfall on average 280 days a year. So there's the remains of St Fillan's Priory. Dates back 13th century. I said the graveyard just over to the left there. Dates back to the beginnings of the Celtic church in the 8th century. Steeped with history, the Highlands. Tyndrum Hills. A campsite here, what a beautiful view they've got. I believe this point here is the exact halfway point on the West Highland Way, which I think, if memory serves right, it's about 96 miles from Milgate, north of Glasgow, to Fort William. I just had a sign there saying, welcome to Strathfillan, oh what was it, Wigwams, that was it, and farm shop. Oh, I must not get a cold drink here, I'm parched. It's a pool right down there, that's really inviting. There's no way to get down. Plus I'm not very good at swimming. Under the A82 again. Local drug dealing den this is. Well, it would be if it was at home. West Highland Way, Tyndrum, 1.5 miles. I should be there in 10 minutes. The pace I'm walking at with this heavy pack on, that's probably the best part of an hour left. I'm pretty warm, it's a very warm afternoon here in the Highlands. I'd love to go swimming in a pool right now. See some people over there in the river. Thoroughly enjoying it though, despite what hard work it is for a big boy like me. Not helped by the fact that this pack is stupidly heavy. Not used to it, not fit enough. Tyndrum Community Woodland. Welcome shelter from the shade from that strong sun that we have here. And that's why I've got a silly hat on. As you've seen in some of the clips, I don't normally wear a hat. As you get older, hair gets a bit thinner, and being out in the sun starts to hurt after a while, so best keeping a hat on. I've not actually seen this part of the trail on any of the vlogs I've watched, and I've watched a few. Well, Abby, I've watched both of her trips along here, and a few others. I've never seen I've seen this bit with the river just off to our left there. Insert title underneath with river name, because I don't know what it is off the top of my head. It's very pleasant. You can just see how much the water level's down. The smoothing of the rock gives it away of how high the water level normally is, and when it's in spate, so little pools and smooth rock, the water level is just really a trickle at the bottom. I've got the bit of uphill to do now. I'm not going to do one of these all YouTuber extra positive about things, because I'd be lying. I'm absolutely knackered. I'm hot and my legs are absolutely, feel like I've got lead weights in my boots. Well, I haven't even got boots on, I've got trekking shoes on. Oh, grief. This was supposed to be a test. It's put me off ever doing the whole thing until I shift a whole ton of bulk and travel lighter next time. I think this goes up to some pool or something where some sword was, legend has it, was thrown in the pool. Can't remember what it was called. Just tell you it was the sword of Gryffindor, there you go. I don't think you believe that one though. I've had plenty of water, that's for sure. Topped up of the farm, I shall stop soon and have another half a gallon. Oh, there's that pool over there. There's a sign up there, you'll get the proper answer about the sword, and not the nonsense I just made up about the sword of Gryffindor. So that pool is the Locken of the Lost Sword, and legend has it Robert the Bruce, after he was defeated through him and his army threw their weapons into that small locken. This included Robert Bruce's long sword, Claymore. I'm getting Blackadder the third vibes here with Mad Muckadder or whatever his name was. And he used to fight with a claymore. Apparently nobody's ever found it, I don't think. Well, we just had a break there at the Locken of the Lost Sword, and if anyone's into geocaching, there's a geocache really near here. I'm not going to show you where, because that's cheating. You have to find it yourself. If you see people scrabbling around in bushes around here, you'll know what they're doing. Well, apart from the toilet breaks and the amount of toilet paper I've seen on this walk, which is pretty gross. If you're using toilet paper having a wee, put it in a little poly bag and take it with you and dump it where you're staying. I mean, who on earth do you think is clearing this stuff up after you? Come on. It fries my mind to think of how selfish some people are. And God forbid it was anything more than a wee. Well, anyway, think about something nice. Maybe a beer coming up, hopefully fairly soon. Onwards we go. I don't think I felt so hot walking before. Never in Scotland, I don't think. That day I went to the lakes and climb up High Street in 2018. It was a pretty warm day. That's the day I ran out of water. I'll never forget that. On the outskirts of Tyndrum, and this is where they used to do lead smelting. There used to be lead mines in these hills long ago since that happened. By the way, campsite 500 metres, that is where I'm staying, so half a click to go. Shop, beers. I'll probably be pissed after one pint, I feel so knackered. Just come out seeing the first campsite on the right. If I'm going to make these last 400 metres, I'm going to have a sit down for 5 minutes. Lard asses in the mountains and hills, eh? Some posh old pods and lodges there, a beautiful view. Very, very midgy later on. Hi. Tyndrum lodges, 100 metres. Oh my god, that makes me so jealous. They're sat there in their hot tub, for God's sake. Oh, shit. It's not worth being jealous, is it? And that is it. Entrance to the By the Way hostel and campsite. That boat's probably just run from Caledonian in half an hour. And it's taken me absolutely bloody ages. I haven't rushed. I couldn't rush. Couldn't rush if I tried. So we're here. I made it. That felt a lot longer than 7 miles. It felt like about bloody 20 to me. But I stopped so many times. It's pretty tiring. Oh, it's just a big sweaty mess. 4 fat Coke to replace the sugar and the energy. I'll go and find me my pod, glamping pod they call it. Dump the bag and go and have a shower. So I'm melting. I'll bring you back later on when I've got in the pod and sorted myself out. Here's my little pod. It's at the far end of the campsite. There's a couple more down there and some posher little ones. It serves a purpose and it beats a tent. No thrills. That's why I bought my own sleeping bag and pillow and a little sofa. You've got a telly, microwave and kettle, sink and a toilet and a view out the back. So dinner in the cafe, chip shop type of cafe. Just going up here to pub, have a beer and then probably go and nip in the Green Well again, or spa or whatever they got there. Take a couple back. I'm so knackered, I'm sure I could be fast asleep by the time it's 8 o'clock. Good morning. Let's look back there at the pod I slept in. Very nice pod, very modern. Sort of water, kettle and the toilet as you see. The only thing was, the mattress was like a sponge, it was just so soft. And it was a pretty warm night in my sleeping bag. I didn't know whether to chuck it off completely or put it over me, or indecisions with sleeping gear. Anyway, I'm well rested. However, I ache, so I'm going to abandon my plan, I think, of walking onto Bridge of Orkney. I don't think the legs and hips will take it. I don't feel too bad walking now. I've been pretty stiff walking around the room this morning. However, though, I think I'm going to change my plans, just come back a bit earlier. Going to walk up at just after lunch to station at Upper Tyndrum here, and then get the train into Glasgow and over to Edinburgh and back on the early evening train back to London. You know, I did the walk that I really intended to do, the real sort of up and downy bit from Caledonian. I've changed my mind about the next one. I don't think realistically I could do another 8 miles or so. Yeah, it's pretty tired yesterday. It's not as hot today, nowhere near as hot, but it's going to get sunnier later on. So I'm just trying to be a bit sensible and a bit lazy. Anyway, I'm just going to go for a little stroll around the village. The West Highland Way continues down here, so why going for a walk if I'm giving up? Well, I can walk, but I just can't walk as far as Bridge of Orkney or beyond, so just going to loosen up my muscles, especially the hips and the thigh muscles are hurting quite a bit. And the old path there crosses the stream, which must be quite something when this is in spate, though. There is a very easy alternative to get around it. You can actually just walk on the main road here at Tyndrum up to the other end of the West Highland Way, where it pops out at the top of the village. This walk, so easily avoided. The rivers were crashing down. Obviously does come down, judging by all the stones and things. It's come down that bit. And let's just have a little explore. I just went up the path here, just a big geocaching, and I had to go into the woods for it, and got absolutely attacked by midges. I've been like caviar all over my arms. God, still getting bitten, I think. Oh, that was the worst yet. I'm just heading back now to the campsite and huts, and I'll do a quick conclusion now, just in case I don't get a chance to film later on. I've got a whole load of trains to be getting. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I know it's a way to come just for a weekend. I love being in the mountains. I feel at home here, whether I'm fit or not. West Highland Way, absolutely, well, the tiny section of it that I did. Lovely place, lovely walk. Just get away from it all. Plenty of people on it in June. Biggest negative about it was, to be honest, I think I mentioned it in one of my moans, was the toilet paper en route. It was just terrible in places. Seriously, people, you really need to take a little polythene bag and put your toilet paper in it. Take it with you and dump it later. Don't leave it on the trail, because nobody's going to pick it up. Being as big as and unfit as I am, yeah, I could still do it again. However, I won't be taking such a big pack. That really was out of the question. So I think I've answered my own questions. Am I capable of doing the West Highland Way? Yeah, probably, but I'm going to need to do one of those sort of like lightweight tours of it, to be honest. The one where your main bulk of your luggage, your big backpack, gets taken on for you day by day, and you stay in bed and breakfasts. I'd probably, if I did do it, I'd opt to do the 7, 8 or even 9 day, and just carry a very light day sack. Make sure I'm not being followed and someone thinks some madman's talking into a GoPro on his own. I think that's the only way I do it. I certainly couldn't haul a big old backpack all that way. Yeah, I need to lose weight. Perhaps it's possible then. If I do any more filming, I'll show you, and in the meantime, I'll say ta-ra for now. Oh yeah.